Stop by to interact with the community and I every Friday night at 8 o'clock for live stream Fridays.
Welcome, trolls. First sees all.
So supposedly YouTube sends me a message to tell me to stop posting videos, but, yep, you can't start a sentence with but. I'm pretty sure that YouTube knows that. And my YouTube channel password is kiss my... This is the surface of the moon that we could see gases on the surface. It's smokes of a very colorful nature that we could see in the reds on the bottom there, and it's coming from a light source. So some of these supposed craters look like cauldrons, right? Fusioning is seen inside of them quite clearly, and they're very, very bright, extremely bright lights. This is my favorite, one of my favorite sightings. Been looking at it, and there's just so much evidence showing people that there's an object descending. Let's look at it a couple times. This is descending to the surface. It's on fire. It wasn't. It lit up. And now there's the smoke on the left that's remaining on the surface as the other object descends to the surface. Let's see another object right in the same area. And we see, and this is what I want to show you. We're going to look inside that light. We're going to try to apply a few simple, very simple color filters. This is an inversion, and now here's no inversion with a simple blue filter to be able to see inside the light and watch what we're going to see. So this is a pretty important video. Check it out. Look inside of the smoke, what we're going to see. And this is why I do the research, guys and gals. See that? Not much, right? Some might say. Well, it's actually a lot that we're seeing, because we're seeing not only this UFO is near impossible to see, it's hard to see, but now we see inside of the cloud of that UFO that there's more than one object, that the object is brightening up, illuminating itself, and again, a cloud around it. Look at these extraordinary lights all over the surface. It's top secret for sure, totally classified, but I'm not an institution, right? Scientific institution. I mean, sure, I get it. Okay. Amateur researcher, yes, I get it. Amateur astronomer. But what I'm able to find is, basically, I think we all understand that the research that the government's doing and military and whoever's looking, without pointing names, whoever's looking at these creatures or UFOs, they're finding work like mine a lot clearer, but it's the same thing they're seeing. They do know what I'm finding, and they're really out there. So these are UFOs on the surface, and look at the cloud. Do you see how close I can get in with the purple filters? You all can try it. If you want to zoom in on your moon images without the pixelation to get a really clear shot, green is good, but then go to the purple, you can zoom in twice as much. So what do you think of fire? Let's really talk about this, because as much as I appreciate the support on the channel, you all know that we need a lot more support here, right? What does it mean if fire and smoke is coming out of the back of an object flying over the surface of the moon? Obviously, we're smart enough to use common sense and to say possibly that there could be some type of a fuel that's inside of these objects, a carburant, obviously, if they're propelling themselves across the moon. Is there atmosphere or not? We know there is. How high the atmosphere is, that's besides the question. Either way, they're up there, they're floating around, who or whatever they are. This gigantic cloud that we could see about 6 miles long, half a mile to a mile wide, we could see on the surface in movement. Beautiful blue filter here, which always helps, the color filters. All it does, it changes the color of the object, and any little spontaneous light or illumination that's occurring on the surface, sometimes with the color filter, you can go get it a bit more clearer. Well, real UFO activity. Look at all the different types of activity. I'm showing fire. Can you think of it? On the surface. Now, what's the difference with that fire I just showed you and with this? Nothing. It's objects landing on the surface. Unidentified aerial phenomena. They're UFOs that we don't know exactly what they are. But let me tell you, if you see fire like this behind a vessel, it's because there's carburant in it, there's gas in it, there's a fuel, some type of propellant, right? So then you wonder, well, are aliens using fuel? I don't know. Let's change subjects. Copernicus crater. What do you think of that? Copernicus crater. Massive line. Could be a pipe or even buildings or something. It could be liquid or something. Look in the circle. Hard to see, but still the proof is there. These are connections overlapping each other. This is a city, my friends, or as big as a city. We're literally looking at structuring on the surface that's not that much different than the structuring that we see here on Earth. But now, as for people want to know if there are changes on the moon, these are large objects. The changes occur closer on the surface. So, for example, seasonal changes and stuff will be harder to see unless you zoom in a lot more, right? We're seeing the same reflectivity as the surface. And what do I mean by that? The same reflectivity as the surface, meaning, like here, the UFO is the same color as the clouds the same color as the surface. It's hard to distinguish and differentiate the surface from these objects. But you see, we're not looking at the moon's surface. The gray that you see on the moon is not the surface. Possibly we could plunge into those craters and clouds. Why do the craters look even? All of them. Why do they all look the same depth? Well, that layer of cloud on the surface, natural or not, is causing us to see the surface like a saran wrap layer, right? Like a film layer.
See, it starts off there, and then they come down, which is totally unorthodox for a plane flying with passengers, right? And they stop spraying there where the houses and leave. Those aren't passenger planes.
spying up there. Mining on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. They may be coming soon. They may be coming soon. Aliens on the moon. They're spying on the moon. They may be coming soon.
This is Houston. Say again, please.